Chuparsho Idam Guru Shudam Soki Chognam La Jangshu Pardu Dagni Kapsuchi Dagi Chunyen Gipe Sanam Gi Drola Penshir Sangye Chuparsho Sangye Chunam Soki Chognam La Jangshu Pardu Dagni Kapsuchi Dagi Chunyen Gipe Sanam Gi Drola Penshir Sangye Truparsho Sangye Chudam Soki Chognam La Jangshu Pardu Dagni Kapsuchi Dagi Chunyen Gipe Sanam Gi Drola Penshir Sangye Truparsho Smoky dokie. Questions?
Okay. So a lot of the.
Can you expand that a little bit?
Theme, yep. Oh.
There.
A lot of the things repeated, so these questions are very similar to the previous one. How can we further divide the practitioners of the greater way, and how many of each surround the Buddha?
Over three.
So before this, it was talking about the paths shared with the people of lesser and medium capacity, and he said that even within those of the greater way, them in two according to.
What they could handle, right? Yeah. How brave they were.
Yeah. Courage, yes.
Ningdo.
And then he gave an example of the bodhisattva surrounding the Buddha.
I'll give you a clue, the number was wrong.
16.
It
was 36,000, right?
Yeah.
In top 6.
That's okay.
And out of those.
And it was the 60 and the 16 of the 60, right?
60 what?
60.
Tell me. Bei mei, sorry. Bei don't do.
Oh, the ones that even the Buddha praised or something, right?
Yeah. Out of the 36,000 bodhisattvas that used to hang out with the Buddha, he said 60 were bei mei, beyond compare.
Yeah.
Which means even among bodhisattvas, there's some that have more guts and some that have less guts.
Which number was wrong?
Did we decide it was
he said 16 and it's 60.
Oh, okay.
There's a subset of the 60 is 16, but that's not the bei meis.
Okay,
The bei meis are 60. Yeah. As far as I can tell.
I understood 16.
There's 16. There's a tiny group of 16 who are even more special, but they have a different name.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
Are those the 16 arhats? They could.
I don't think they're the 16 elders. Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, Stavira. Yeah.
Okay, so according to Trinchen Tempa Rabge, and supported by the younger Kusali, what is a higher practice?
Seeing selfishness as the enemy.
Yeah.
What was it?
Self-cherishing as the main enemy.
And treat your service of others as the highest one.
Yeah.
Ooh, hard.
What is the method? This relates to that also. What is the method for achieving the goals of others in a skillful way? I don't know if the question is like in more detail.
Yeah.
No?
We did have it. No, we had it. They forgot. Give them some clues.
Yeah. Some clues.
So there's the two things that the peacocks can take and crows shouldn't try.
Poison.
Poison, which are
Desire and mental affliction.
yes.
Negative emotion.
Yeah, good.
Cool.
What happened, Stanley?
What's that?
You must have had some coffee just before the.
He gave his burrito away. Not eat his burrito. Yeah, now I can't think. I'm like, well.
So there's three.
I'm not sure Shatak is spelled correctly here.
Isn't S-T-A-G?
Yeah, it's S-T-A-G.
Oh, sorry.
Because it's like a...
No, S-H-A, S-T-A-G.
It's like tiger.
What's it mean?
Tiger meat.
And it's
Huh?
not tiger meat, but it means like the essence.
It's like blood.
Oh, dak means tiger. Yeah, but shada means something completely different.
It's
It means 100%.
100%, yeah.
100%.
bone.
That's right. That was
Dukta shada yore. This is all 100% crap. It's a very common Tibetan saying.
what's the
Shata.
Shut up.
Never mind.
Language level learning all the taxes.
There's some things you don't need to learn to say. Exclusively is not bad either. Exclusively is fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, next one.
Courage.
Yeah.
What have they got that I ain't got?
Who's close to Lama Dewar? You are. She asked me a question. She sent me a question. I used a certain word in her long life prayer. Top, S-T-O-B-S. And she wrote back and said, isn't it T-H-O-B or something like that? Tell her she's wrong. And this is correct. But don't quote me. Just, it's like, tell her Geshe-la hit this word today and he said it's not T-H-O-B or anything like that. And by the way, it's a very big compliment to use the word in a person's long life prayer. You can tell her that because it's the name that Lord Buddha had when he gave his body to the tiger. Okay. So I was kind of trying to imply that. Okay.
100%.
Top.
Unexpected
Tiger
methods.
food might be.
Good. Say it louder.
Unexpected methods.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Top.
Actually, top just means method.
Usually it's Top K. Top K. M-K-H-A-S. 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 Yeah, and oftentimes it's abbreviated to Tup. And in his text, it's often abbreviated to Tup. Okay. Tup K, skillful means. Which, I'm not sure about that translation. It means unexpected, cool ways of helping people. And it might involve doing something strange.
Tricky.
Yeah, like, I don't know.
Like getting really drunk with your students. And
Well, I wouldn't say that, but I don't know. Taking your clothes off is a good way to stop a fight. I'm serious. Just start undressing. Two people are in a serious fight, like physical fight, and you just start undressing, especially if you're a lady, I guess. No, and they'll stop and they're like, what? And they forget to fight. No, that's like, Tapke means like that. It means virtuous, very highly. You do it because you really don't want them to hurt each other. Dropping a glass is a good way in a heavy argument. If it looks like two Dharma people are going after each other in a way that's going to hurt the Sangha, drop a glass. And then the next half hour is cleaning up pieces of glass. And everybody forgot to fight, you see. That's Tapke. Tapke is that. Okay. Drop a glass.
Cool.
Okay, we're good? All right. Adam's got the plane. Seiji's gonna crash it.
We need something.
Go.
대신 두 명모 파션체 당당 티묵 세르나 트락도소 랑 자와 인테 대닥 대닥 캬파오 남키 람 그룹에 답순 규누신.
Nice. You're getting better. Daishindu? In the same way. Nyomo?
no more those who have mental
I prefer to say negative emotions. I'll tell you why. I don't think afflictions will pass the waiter test. We have what we call a waiter test. If you say this to a waiter at a restaurant, do they know what the heck you're talking about? And sometimes I take the Chinese people to a restaurant, and I say, okay, ask this one. And they say, can you tell me what's a mental affliction? And the waiter just stares at them like, what? You know. So it didn't pass what we call the waiter test. Common English, normal English, okay? So mental affliction, it doesn't exist as an English word. No one uses it. There's no such thing. It's only in Buddhist books. It's like sentient being. Okay, so don't use those words. Say living thing, or say negative emotion. Okay, in my request, my suggestion, if you want people to read your translation. Okay. Nyomong Shen.
Other
Yeah, that applies. What do you think?
Just kidding.
Okay. Okay, and now the point is, Lamdu Kierwa.
They can practice.
Oh, you can make them into the path.
Yeah, and this whole discussion, this Lama, he's translating a lecture. It's a lecture. This is a transcript of a lecture on the crown of knives. And by a very eminent Lama. It's very similar to the Lama that we just spent 9 years on, which is a gift of liberation, thrust into your hands, right? So this is a report of a lecture, and this particular Lama, I don't know what happened, but unexpectedly, he's going very tantra on us. Unexpectedly. We didn't choose this commentary thinking we had a hot potato. But he's been throwing in some very powerful stuff. And I like it. And I think Seiji is someone who can do it with sensitivity. But he was saying, for example, duchak, which means you could say attachment to your husband or attachment to your wife. He's saying you could turn it into a practice. You could say, for example, with ducha, with that kind of attachment to your wife or husband, you could say, knowing that I'm strongly attached to this person, knowing that I've made a commitment to stay with this person the rest of my life, I decide they are the only Buddha in this world. I decide they are the only Buddha in this world. Now treat them that way. Okay? then you're in for a lifetime of difficult practice. You see what I mean? So you have transformed your attachment to this person into a deep Buddhist practice. And that's called Lamdu Kyerwa. What's it literally mean?
Carry the road?
Carry the road. Carry it as a path. But it's a special idiom, especially in Tantra, to take an emotion which would normally cause you problems, attachment to your spouse, and turn it into a high spiritual method. Lamdu Kyerwa. Okay? So he's been talking about that. Now he says, can you do this with other negative emotions? Can you transform your anger, shedang? Can you transform timug, your lack of spiritual knowledge? Can you stinginess, chakto?
Jealousy.
Yeah, the example I like to give is, I used to go to a second Lama when Rinpoche was traveling, and he taught me Abhidharma. And he had a lung taken out in Baksa refugee camp, and he was like this. He had tuberculosis, things like this, and he'd teach me like this. And he was a great scholar, very good teacher. He's the one who turned me on to Seidura. He died with Seidura in his hand, and he handed it to me. So anyway, the book he's translating. So he's like, what he says, I gotta tell you something. I said, what? He says, you're so lucky. You're just so lucky. I said, why? He says, you're so jealous of art. It's really good. And I said, why? He says, oh, you compete with him every single day. I'm watching you, your Tibetan's getting better and better because you can't stand it when he's better than you. And then he goes like, he says, it's good. Keep it up. They said, but later on, you have to get rid of it, okay? So that's chato, lam du kirwa. Use jealousy for some higher goal. So, okay, he has a list of negativities. And you can tell your own story. You probably have your own stories. I had a student from the Diamond Mountain generation was asking me for money, and I absolutely refused. I said, I don't have a penny. And my bank account at the time was unusually high by accident. I said, I'm sorry, I just don't have a penny. You're going to have to. They said, I can't get a job. Then Jigme Hai, she went online, she found out how many Arizona people work online. And they said, I'm in a place where I can't make money. I sent them the statistic. I said, 6.4 million people in Arizona are working online. You can do it. Then I sent them to Bonnie. I sent them to Bonnie, who works. She makes a lot of money online. And then and so Serna.
Stinginess.
Yeah, I was saying, I won't give you a penny. I can't give you a penny, Actually, I could give them anything, but I'm like, no, I don't have a penny. Then I forced them, and then they started a pretty good business. The business is doing pretty well now. Okay, got it? Okay, so that becomes a path. Okay. La Sok Lang Jarwa, La Ang Jarwa. You can also apply this principle to the other negativities. Jealousy, stinginess, Deda kyang power, but you gotta be a power. Warrior. You gotta be a warrior. This is not gonna work with wimpy people. Why? Nam ki lam drupe tapsugyur. This gyur we haven't seen much, but you're gonna tell me what it means.
To become?
No, that's the only thing it doesn't mean.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Let me
Adam said it.
Huh? Transform. Change. This is the word for changing money. Okay, this is the word for translating, changing words. So, what's Kigyor?
Translating. Interpreter.
It's a neural translator. Yeah. Language changer. And changing money is a gyur also. Okay, it's changing currencies.
So is it Tiggyur or
Tapsugyur. They can turn these kinds of emotions into a means of accomplishing the goals of the path. But only people who are strong. Only people Pao, Virya, which became virile.
Werewolf.
Yeah, werewolf comes from that. Okay. Okay, you got the plane, Mr. Word. He's a famous pilot, so he taught us when you're flying together like this, who's the boss? You gotta decide. So you go like this in the window. Do it.
That's to you. You have the lead, and then you would go, I have the lead. And then you look forward and you go like this, meaning now.
Okay, follow me, guys. So he's correcting.
I need a yellow helmet though.
They're hard to get.
Start training.
Okay. Nyangrang Soki Sumpeng Dharma Jarok Tabu Namki Te Ki Nite Dagla Chepna Tapsu Gyuminu Pekar Ngashe Patar Tar Pe Sok Rok
So
Sok La Bapa Te Rop Se
Sokta.
Te Sokta Kur Chepangyur Shepe Dong Yi
Nice.
Dun
Okay.
Yin
Nyenrong.
Listeners and self-made Buddhists.
Yeah, 2 lower tracks. Huh?
etc.
Sorry?
Etc.
There's only one more.
Yeah. How about people who are not on any track?
Trackless.
Trackless. Basically, people who don't have a bodhisattva's motivation. They're practicing to help themselves. Okay, that kind of people. Sunba means that kind of people, typified by that, represented by them. Okay, he just says, I could give you other examples, but let's start with these guys. Tsunbe, Dharma.
Cowards.
Yeah, extremely rare word, and the R type is sought as Dharma, which is very common word, which means before. Okay, so Dharma, these cowards, they're like charoks.
They're like crows.
They're like crows as opposed to.
Gotcha.
Why are peacocks important in your text?
Because they transform the poison into their practice in beautiful plumage.
Yeah, traditionally, Mayur. Peacocks are example of someone who can take a heavy situation and turn it into a beautiful situation. Because it's believed that they feed off of poison. They eat poison, and that causes the color of their feathers. Traditionally, probably they just die if you feed them poison. But I'm just saying, don't try it with your peacocks.
Which alarmingly, you could have thought, if you thought that was Nar, you could have thought that was Macha.
Yeah. Okay, Charok Tabu Namki, Deda La Chena. If they act this way, this is the Che in, for example, in Chalamki Neljor, in the yoga of everyday life. Charya, to act that way. Chena, Tapsugir Minu.
They're not able to transform.
Yeah, they're not able to take, for example, jealousy and use it for some good purpose, okay? Or attachment to your spouse. They're not able to do that. Gir Minupe Kar, you and I talked about it.
Just about to?
Generally it's that, but that would be after a verb.
Oh, I see. From the mouth?
You and I talked about it specifically.
I'm glad to believe you.
Before
It means not only can they not do that, but they cannot do that. Something else would happen.
not only
So
that.
in the mouth of them eating poison, meaning if they tried to eat poison, here's what would happen. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
On top of,
Yeah.
not only
Yeah. Not only.
not only are they not able to transform it, it will soklabab,
It will take their life.
take their life. Yeah, they will. It will kill them. Meaning, if you don't know what you're doing and you try to take attachment to your spouse as a path, you will suffer. Or jealousy. If you just say, I'm going to be jealous and it's going to help me, then you'll be in trouble. Most of us will be in trouble. Okay. Namki Dinalachina Kar Nar Shepatar, as I explained before, Tarpe Soglapap, it will endanger the life of your
spiritual life.
your spiritual liberation. Yeah. Te Sokta Chupa.
It will cut the roots of life.
Yeah, and here he wants to reintroduce an idiom that was introduced in the root text in the poem. Okay, so the poem was written exactly 1,000 years ago, and it was given by Dharmarakshita to his student Atisha, who brought Buddhism to Tibet, basically. Okay, so he carried this instruction with him. The Sanskrit is totally missing. If you can find that, I will kiss your feet also. It's possible it's somewhere in Nepal.
By the way, Aslis has stayed in Nepal for a few years.
Yeah.
The Krishnamurti Mahavihar in Nepal. Exactly.
Built to.
Yeah, so maybe we can find it there. You have to
That Vihar still exists.
push him.
Of Atisha's teaching, or of Dharmarakshita's teaching of
The Sanjay Korlo.
his teaching on it.
By the way, I found the Sanskrit, right? We found the Sanskrit. The Sanskrit word for the title. Anyway, we made a note somewhere. Anyway, there is a Sanskrit for Sanjay Korlo. And it's not it's not Shastra Chakra or something like that. It's something else. Saksa Chupa means, see, then he's taking that out of the root text because it's an unusual word. And he's saying what it means is it could kill you if you weren't strong enough. You would get it would make you a worse person, and you would die and go to someplace bad. Soksa Chupar. Where's the most famous place where you see the chupa? Yeah, Chedaka meaning the diamond cutter. Okay, it would cut your life power. Okay, so chupa shipi dunyi, and that's what that weird expression means in the root text. He says that's what it means. That's what that piece means in the root text. Sokta chupa means sokla bapa. It would endanger your life. But it's reversed. In English you would say, the root text says cut your life root. What it means is it would lessen your chances of nirvana. But he reverses it here. He says lessen your chances of nirvana, by the way, which is what cut your life root means in the root text. Okay, got it? All right. Who's up next? By the way, as I said, when I'm translating myself, I like to this page so I can see the whole thing together. Okay. Then you gotta remember to unpush it back. You ready, Brigitte and Miss Sunam? Go. You got the plane. Chenzom, you got the other plane.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you correct, Seiji. You do the next one. Okay.
Te yang nan.
Sorry.
Dan. Tum parje na ninde chaklam dukierwa ninte te la she dang so kyang lam dukier gu ni ye me kyang so wonin de chak inte deni teni de chen war
bar
be
by the way
rock su trog sung gyur
yeah
su gyur ne lang dung kier wain.
Nice. Okay, not bad. Not tung tum.
Both those are shared and tantra. No, that's tantra and that which is.
Yeah.
Well, this means according to tantra.
Oh, does it?
Okay, Naktan Tumba here means, you know, if we're going to explain this in a tantric way, okay, if we go tantra way, which is unexpected. We expected a Lojong text, and he keeps throwing in tantra. But he does it in a tasteful, correct way. Tumba nani, Decha lam to care.
You can make desire the path.
Yeah, you are making a path out of attachment. For example, to your spouse. You are making it a path. You are turning it into a path for your own enlightenment, okay? And it's not easy. And that's why you have to be high capacity. You know, if you get married or something, in order to practice seeing your partner is perfect, it's going to have a tough couple of years. Because they're perfect. Okay? And that doesn't mean you can't agree with them, but it does mean you have to have a very beautiful perception of them, and you have to try to maintain it even if you're tired or you're sick or you're having money problems or whatever. It's not easy, but it's the highest practice. It's fast. It's riding a tiger. So you kind of got to make a choice. You know, it might blow up. It has in the past sometimes. Okay, so Tumbachena, Decha Lam to Kir. How can you turn attachment into a path? Dela Shedan So Kyang Lam to Kir Gyuni Yum. Kir Gyu here means, it doesn't mean cause. It means there is such a thing. It's possible.
To make the other.
You can use these other emotions like anger. You know, you can try to make a path out of them. You can try it.
Admittedly.
There is such things. There are such practices.
Admittedly.
Yeah, I admit there is. Always comes before kyang. But okay, there. You people have done it. But so. Yeah, but I suggest you work on attachment. You know, if you're gonna try to, if you have personal faults, like attachment and anger, go for the attachment first, because anger is really hard to transform. Okay, but attachment to a house, to a person, that's easier.
You're going with attachment. Weren't we doing it as desired before?
Yeah, but probably I have a reason for that.
Okay, so how do we know?
Just pay attention. Okay, sorry. Why? Deni Dechen Barway Trop. What's Barwa mean?
Blazing.
Yeah, blazing. Good. By the way, a prenasal on a labial.
Uh-huh.
Ba.
Or it's mbar.
Yeah, bar. M. Not N. Okay. Ganden. Dechen bar. Okay. Bar. You choose the nasal from the same row.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Ba pa ba
Ma.
ma. Ga ka ga. Ra. So sangha. You see what I mean? Yeah, like that. Okay. Deni Dechen Barwe Troksukure. Because attachment is useful in that it can enhance feelings of bliss. The good days with your wife or husband, you are on good days during practicing attachment as a path. The good days are closer to seeing emptiness. The good days are closer to seeing emptiness. Why? Because it takes a totally open heart to see emptiness. So if you want to know which of your faults to choose as a path, he says, try your attachment first. Okay, I admit people have used jealousy for spiritual advancement. Geshe-la's Tibetan is good. But, it's easier if you use attachment. Why? Because it opens your heart on some level. And an open heart, a person with an open heart is much, much, much more likely to see emptiness. Okay, got it? So, Deichen means bliss. Barwa means burn. Okay.
In this case, that's
Chopo.
friend.
Yeah, it's an assistant. It's a
Oh, it's
Accompaniment.
It
Accompaniment.
It is.
no, it means an assistance.
Okay.
Right.
It helps you get to bliss.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's hard to feel a totally open heart with someone that you're disgusted by. You see what I mean? So pick someone that you have a natural attraction towards, and then use that open feeling to try to get the winds in a place to see emptiness. That's all. Okay? So he's just trying to sell us Döchak instead of
I agree.
other emotions. Yeah.
Does the attachment get equals to desire that you mentioned?
It can be sexual desire, it can be physical desire. That's a subset. It should be some kind of like you feel like this is the person I want to spend my life with. It's really, that's the bigger picture, It's more like attraction to someone as somebody you would like to be married to for the rest of your life. Okay? That kind of feeling. Okay? Attraction, this is the one. This is the person I want to hang out with. This is the person I want to be with. And then use that feeling as a path. Okay? Because normally that feeling might lead to excluding other people. We're tight and we don't like other people. We have our house and we don't care about the neighbors. Like that. Okay? Yeah. Did you have a question?
We talked earlier about the where soul is in the sentence, and here we've got it between kyang and ni.
I'm sorry. Oh yeah.
So
Here it just means the main one you want to work with. The main one you want to work with is Döchak.
why does it come after the but?
It's like this kind of a new phrase.
I admit you can use anger, desire, etc. But the main one you want to focus on is attachment. Yeah.
So on.
The best candidate.
Kyang solo ni.
Yeah, it means the best candidate. The number one candidate for emotions is attachment for another person.
Now,
Okay. All right. Which you can transform into. That is the highest Buddhist practice there is. Forget it. That's the highest one. And it's hard. It's really hard. It's not easy. It sounds romantic, it's not.
I guess
It's a lot of hard work.
It's the easiest.
But the result is incomparable. There's no more beautiful thing in the world than that. Okay, go.
Tu mong we shepa jena te dag landung kier wa sheser mi runkyang shenden gruppe druppe tapsu gyushepa shikge pe dongi deni pe lamdu kierwadang tapsu gyurwe ni wa ni lang minjawe kiepa yudo. Nice.
Your Tibetan's getting awesome. I don't know what happened. Maybe it's that you're helping run the college. Maybe. That's that Louis C.K.
Yeah.
Maybe people shoot at you because you attacked their country. Anyway, Tumoe Shepa China. Now, may I point out? Well, this one was Tumba. So Tumoa means non-tantra here. Okay, if we explain it in the normal way, okay, so here it means normal, but it means specifically non-tantra. If you're talking normally, shepa, teda lam tu kerwa she minum.
It's not okay to turn.
Yeah, it's not okay to talk about using those emotions as a path. It's not okay. Okay, if we were not talking tantra today, it would be wrong to suggest to your student to try to develop their anger or their jealousy. Okay, if we were not talking tantra, that would be improper. Okay, normally tumong. Okay, that's what tumong means here. It has many meanings. Here it means that she ser mirung, to claim you're trying to do that in a sense, or we can't talk about lamkir. Okay, we cannot use that expression lam dikirwa. Use it as a pat. We cannot use that expression outside of tantra. Kyang. But we can talk about tup.
Skillful means.
Good. So here he didn't say tup kepa, but he means tup kepa. Okay. So he's drawing a distinction between what two things?
The tantric meaning of using of lamdukir and
using as a path.
Yeah, and taking on the wishes of others.
And the concept of skillful means. Yeah. It's just not the same thing. Mindawa. These ain't the same thing. Not the same thing. It's not like dropping a glass when two of your friends are fighting to break the mood, to get them distracted. That's top. It's not lamkir. Okay, so he wants us, the Lama here is saying totally different concepts, okay? Tap kepa, upaya, skillful means. Do an unexpected thing to help people. But that's not lamkir. Lamkir is riding a tiger. It's one thing to drop a glass. It's another thing to get married to someone and spend 30, 40, 50 years together to reach Buddhahood. You see, that's different. That takes long, that's harder. Got it? One is a tantric practice and one is not. Okay? So, tapsagyur, shepa, if you shenden drupe tapsagyur, okay, this idea of a top, a method of doing what others need, of serving others, shendun drup, okay? Doing something, dropping the glass in the service of others, okay? Knowing how to do that, that's the meaning of top. That's skillful means. Special ways of serving others. Therefore, Lamdu Kyewa and Tapsa Gyurpa Minda. They ain't the same thing. Kipper. There's a big difference. No, here it means, well, here technically it says there's a feature which separates them. There's a quality, there's a characteristic which sets them apart from each other. Okay, got it? Yeah. It's a very beautiful distinction. I've never seen it expressed this beautifully. Okay, it's great to do unusual things to help others. It's also wonderful to use your natural negativities as a path, but it ain't the same thing, and it requires a peacock to do the
First one.
Yeah, you got to be a peacock, or you're going to hurt yourself. You know, you'll be 20 years in an unhappy marriage. Okay, so if you have the guts, if you have the power to try, go for it. But if you don't, you're just going to lock yourself into something and make you unhappy for many years. Okay, got it?
Implying we could all be dropping glasses when our friends fight.
Yeah. He says that's easy. Dropping glasses is easy. You know, seeing your wife as a Buddha now. For 20, 30, 40 years, that's a huge commitment, and only the second person will achieve Buddhahood. So you ride that tiger if you want, but you might get some bites. That's the idea. It won't be easy. It sounds so romantic, and it sounds very logical, and the first time you have a fight, you're like, oh, the hell with this idea. Okay, there we go. Beautiful paragraph. Difficult to translate properly.
Sawa. Oh, root text?
Yep.
Dei cheer sempa majata
Good, yeah. Tabu yi. Yi. Show it's long.
tabu
Yi.
yi du ji
You say it.
du
Say
It's not in English. I'm going to hire him to say it for me. When I go like this, you say that's not English.
Okay.
Tuk, tuk, tuk. Just say it down here. Tuk. Yeah. I keep telling them there's this lady in Brazil who does the announcements at the Rio de Janeiro airport. She's very famous in Rio, and she's like 90 years old now. She goes, flight number 555, leaving in half an hour. All the men are like, who's that? You know. So that's called voice. Tuk, tuk, tuk. Say it like the Brazil lady would. Tuk. Ki.
nat dan drawe drawe.
This is Ndawe, and it is in English.
That is Dom.
Okay. Oh, you're right. Okay. Dong.
Nat tang drawe nyomong nam
Good.
che du charla korwa
Korwe.
natsu juk.
Okay, good. They cheer.
That is why.
Yeah, that's why. Great. Beautiful translation. You didn't say therefore. That's why this Semba is an abbreviation.
Bodhisattva.
Yeah, he just said sattva. He didn't say bodhisattva. Okay.
Bodhisattvas like peacocks.
Yeah, good. Who are like peacocks. Those guys who want to ride tigers.
By them.
Okay. Tuki na dandai nyomong nam. They take the nyomongs,
The negative
negative emotions, which are similar to poison gardens.
poison.
By the way, the whole image of Seiji's text is you are entering a small garden, a small walled garden, which is covered with poison ivy. There's no flowers there, nothing. You walk in there, you're going to come out with some bumps. That's his image, okay? Only a peacock can go in there, okay? So keep the image in mind, okay?
So knock is a garden?
Poison.
Sorry?
Knock?
Oh, nak means a forest, literally.
Oh, all right. Shinga.
Okay, yeah, it means a forest, but it means a king's garden was a forest. This is this old British thing where the king has a whole forest and they can chase their own foxes. And if you try to chase their foxes, you're going to get killed. Yeah. Okay. Chu. We had Chu in Nu Chu.
Is it like nutrition?
Right. The vessel and its.
Yeah, the vessel and its contents. The vessel and its contents is a very, very famous Buddhist expression meaning the world and its inhabitants. This Chu, though, is Chulen.
Oh, right, to take the essence.
Yeah, and there's this Buddhist practice where you don't eat for 6 weeks and you eat the little tiny pistils of flowers. You don't even eat the whole flower. You eat the tiny little thing in the middle of the flower. And if you have the right training, you actually get buff. You get buff. Okay, from eating this. You get no. It's not like you. The people come out and they look all starved. They didn't do Chulen. Okay, they're like, I did Chulen. You say, oh, that's not Chulen. Chulen means you come out looking like Brad Pitt in Troy.
Snatch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and you come out looking like really healthy. Okay, that's real Chulen. So Chu means the. By the way, that practice means suck the chu out of that little flower. Okay, so chu means the nutritive gut stuff. Okay, chu, sujar.
Meet with that to do that.
They use those negative emotions as chu for them.
Oh.
They eat them and they come out looking great. Okay, chu sujane. And that's why they Korwe Naksujuk.
Well, that's why they enter into the forest.
That's why they can wander that forest.
They step into Korwa.
Yeah, samsara.
Sansara. They don't avoid difficult situations. They look for them. They look for difficult situations. Poor people, sick people, angry people, depressed people. That's where they do their stuff. Okay, got it? Very beautiful. Chepani. Go. Are we okay on time?
We have 6 minutes.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chepani
Good.
Gyutsen Teichir Na Sempa Chempo Majat Tabu Dagi Ni Nyomon Pashintu Cheman Wa Sendu Gina Tsaldang Drawa Namchu Du Jar
Jarawa.
Jarwa Te Shengdongi Tapsu Gyurwe Gona
Gone.
Gorwa We Natsu Jupa Shela.
Good. Nice.
Jela.
Chepani means sawa chepa, right? It goes with this sawa. He says, here's the next piece of the root text, the poem that was offered by Dharmarakshita to Atisha before he came to Tibet. It's like, when you have hard times, read this. See you later. See you 12 years. You know, it's 6 months to get over the mountains. You know, here's something that you can read on lonely nights. You know. Now he's going to explain the root text. Gyutsen Deichina, for that reason, meaning there is a difference between those two. Samba Chembo.
Great Bodhisattva.
Yeah, great bodhisattvas. And normally the Chembo, when you say Maha Bodhisattva, what's it mean?
Means they've seen emptiness.
They've seen emptiness. Arya Bodhisattva. They have compassion, but they also have seen reality. Okay? Chembo, they are like matcha. They are peacockish. And they take the great selection of negative emotions that we all have in this store. Okay, they extremely wide selection. He's making a joke. They go to that store that has that extremely wide selection of negative thoughts, meaning my mind, which is
Arsenic.
and that store with that selection of great negativities to be transformed is similar to a cell of Dukinak. Dukinak cell. Senduk.
Arsenic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a whole forest of arsenic trees. Okay.
What's the cell there? The cell.
Noctel.
Noctel is the same as knock.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, knock can also mean pus, so be careful. Different spelling, cannot. Dangdala, this wide selection of negative emotions, my mind, okay? Chudijar, they turn it into health supplements. What do you call it? Protein drink powder.
Smoothies.
Yeah, no, really, that's what Chim means here. They turn it into protein powder. Okay? They take that crap and they turn it into protein powder. Okay? Jate. And they enter, I'm going to read it backwards, okay? They undertake to enter the forest of samsara in a way which allows them to transform it into a method of serving others. Okay. He's backed off of Lamkir.
Right.
Which is odd because he was the one who was using it for all.
He's backed off of Lamkir. He's not talking Tantra anymore. Okay. Now, the next section is very beautiful because he does kind of talk about Lamkir, and he's going to talk about why it's okay to be successful in a worldly sense, and it's okay to buy yourself a nice big house. Really. He goes there. And why a bodhisattva can do something like that, and why they might want to do something like that, and why they might use it to serve others. And there's a very nice discussion next class about using success as a spiritual path. It's very powerful. It's very good for DCI. He's going to give a defense of using success as in a spiritual way, okay, which is very beautiful. He gives a beautiful discussion of it. Okay, all right.
Wow, thank you.
Are we? Yeah. Okay.
Right on.
We are.
Okay, that's weird.
Sashi
Buki Jushin Metotam Rirab Dingshin Yende Gempadi Sangye Shindu Mite Uwargi Yokun Namdak Shingla Chuparsho Idam Guru Radha Mandala Kameyatayami
Gewa
Di Kewo Kun Sanam Yeshe Tsotso Shing Sanam Yeshe Lechuwe Dambha Kuni Topan Sho. Most of you guys know that one of our close students in Sedona lost her husband not too long ago.